Rubber boa. One of a couple boa constrictors that live here in North America. This is the most northernmost species of boa constrictor. Rubber boas are incredibly docile species. They're harmless. And they have a tail right there that looks a lot like the head. And they use that tail for defense. As you see here, this one is all scarred up on the end. He's also covered in scars all over his body. Don't mind the blood on my fingers. I sliced myself. But this is two rubber boas I found under the same thing. So where you find rubber boas, typically, well, today is a rainy day. Okay, yesterday was in the 80s, and today is super humid. That is like the best time to find them. And to find like logs like this, rotted vegetation. And you can flip it and be gentle because, you can find salamanders, frogs, and things like that, or other snakes. Also make sure you don't spook like a snake den or whatever, because you can also find snake dens and things like this. But when you find them, they don't strike at you. I've never been struck at by one. They're non-venomous. They're like a bracelet snake. They wrap around you and just hold on. Hence the name constrictor. So what these guys eat is bugs, worms. They also eat things such as baby mice. And they do get decent size. I've found them about 2.5 feet long. But they're really cool. As you see the scars all over this guy. You can see the face of the baby, which is a last year baby. So still pretty small. Then you see the face of the bigger one, which has all the battle wounds all over it. He's a survivor. There are a lot more rubber boas than we even know because they live underground. But another cool fact about these guys is there is actually like articles talking about how they can live to be like 50 years old. Most snakes don't live that long. They are incredibly slow snakes, and they don't need as much sunlight as other species. So they just typically stay underneath rocks, logs, and stuff like that, and then they come out at nighttime. And they absorb whatever heat that they can. It's super cool. Really, really glad I found these guys. Another really interesting thing is I found them with a bunch of snake skins. Which, the way snakes grow is they shed their skin. Everything, including their eye caps, because snakes cannot blink their eyeballs. They have no ability to blink. Oh man, I'm still having a hard time focusing. They just have these hard scales that are clear. And then the only time that you will essentially see these eyes not so shiny and stuff like that is when they're pre-shed. And then they shed their skin. And you get all these little scales and everything that come off. See if I can find the other end. This is definitely a rubber boa shed. You see how the tail is all rounded? On the other end, the face unfortunately didn't come through. Let's see here about this one. I would really like to show you guys an looks like they didn't do perfect sheds, which means the face and everything didn't unfortunately shed with it. But pretty cool stuff. And what do you do when you find snakes? Leave them be. Once they let go of me. Later, guys.